Mr. Trimble, you ready for us to get started? Do you have Ms. Burke with you today?
I do not have her, at least as of now.
Okay. I'll go ahead and get us started. Hopefully others join us pretty soon.
I did text Miss Lanier and I text Miss Lewis to remind them as well.
Thank you, Ms. Wright. Good afternoon. Welcome to Humphrey's Go Team meeting, where we will follow the agenda as it has been emailed to you and publicly noticed. I would like to remind everyone that this is a meeting of the Go Team. Only members of the team may participate in the discussion. Any members of the public present are here to quietly observe. For members of the Go Team, please identify yourself when you speak. I am pleased to call this meeting of the Humphrey's Go Team to order at 3:33 p.m. Our first order of business is to call roll. The secretary will now call roll.
Please respond present when your name is called. Jaron Trimble,
Present.
Faye Burks, Deborah Truitt, Alexis Stone,
Present.
Shakita Lanier, Avis Lewis, Simone Wright is here. Present. Rakaya Burks,
Present.
Derek Booker,
Present.
Abigail Reese Kelly, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 absences, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in attendance.
Do we count Mr. Trimble in the quorum, Ms. Wright?
Do we count? I don't know if we count him actually.
Okay. So let's see. The team will only be able to take official action if a quorum is present. Ms. Wright, is there a quorum present with who we have here?
Oh yes, Miss Lanier just joined. So yes, we do.
Okay, thank you. Our first order of business is to approve the agenda. This was provided in the chat for you to observe. Are there any changes to the agenda? If there are no changes, may I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I motion to approve the agenda.
Thank you, Ms. Lanier. A second.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Booker. All in favor, please use your thumbs up reaction so the secretary can record your vote. All opposed, please use your thumbs down reaction. And if there are any abstentions, please say abstain. All right. We will review and approve the meeting minutes from our last meeting. The minutes have been provided to you. Are there any corrections? If there are no corrections, may I have a motion to approve the previous meeting's minutes?
I motion to approve the minutes from the previous meeting.
Thank you, Ms. Lanier. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Booker. All in favor, please use your thumbs up reaction. All opposed, please use your thumbs down reaction. And any abstentions, please say abstain. All right. Our first action item is to vote on the draft budget. Mr. Trimble, do you have anything? Oh, wait, let me see. Our first action is to approve the draft budget. Do I hear a motion to approve this item? Or should we?
I think I have to present it.
Okay,
Ms. Burks.
thank you. That wasn't clear.
Yeah, I think I have to present it. Okay. Is it time for me to do it now?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. All right. Good evening, everyone. Going to share my screen. I did place the presentation. That's not the actual budget, but the presentation is in the chat. Okay, so this is our budget feedback meeting. We will have one other meeting. That's once our associate superintendent approves the budget and we have our staffing conferences. And so once that takes place, we will have one other meeting. The agenda, as this is the same agenda that Ms. Burks has provided everyone. This is where we are in the budget development process. We are on step 4. So this is our budget feedback meeting. I will present you all the budget as it is currently, and then anything that the body wishes to revise or have any questions or concerns, we'll discuss those at this time. Okay, so this is our strategic plan. I'm sorry, hold on.
Teachers, please finalize your tutorial session and start bringing the students down for dismissal.
Okay, so this is a strategic plan. I believe once they sent it to us in this form, I sent it out to everyone. If not, I think I can put it in the chat once we start presenting. I'll put it in the chat once again. But this is how we entered everything in, and then it kind of gave us this template. That's the more concise copy. These are our ranked objectives, and we ranked those in our last meeting, and these were adopted. On that left column there, you see the ranked objectives as like we voted on, and then the right column is just a brief kind of phrase, not even a whole sentences in most part, about what does it mean for Humphreys for next school year. And so I will just kind of briefly go over those in case they lead to any questions. And so, of course, our first and number one was to improve the percent of students achieving proficient and distinguished. And for that, you know, that is has so many action steps, so many strategies that we use, but all of it is kind of encapsulated in our SIP, our continuous improvement plan. And so there we're just going to continue the action steps of the continuous improvement plan. For chronic absenteeism, we're going to, you know, I've always kind of bragged on, Dr. Marshall has so many ways to incentivize students. So we're going to continue to incentivize students and look to see if we can incentivize parents of those students that are chronically absent and tardy, and see if we can do better in small groups of parents. So for next year, and I haven't discussed this with Ms. Lanier, but maybe look to do 2 PBLs, 1 per semester. But that would be kind of next steps in where we are in the STEM process. Continue to invest in meaningful professional learning. We always want to present professional learning that is actionable, like our teachers can take it back the next day and implement those strategies. So that's one of the things that we hold, the standard that we hold our professional learning to. Next, supporting SEL and well-being of staff and students. And for the students, we want to protect the 15 minutes of SEL time that's built into our master schedule. When it's done consistently and referred to all day, it really makes a difference. So we're going to continue with that. And then recommend high quality staff for vacant positions. And then just here recently, Humphreys hadn't had many vacant positions. But if we do come on, we'll make sure that we go through a thorough interviewing process. The last 2, sorry about that. The last 2 was just, we're going to make sure that students understand the questions and what they mean as far as their day-to-day life here at Humphreys. Some of the questions can be a little confusing if they're not thoroughly explained before the students take the surveys. And these are 2 different surveys we're talking about. And so we'll make sure that we do a better job of explaining those questions. Okay, so for the 2 items that we're going to look at as far as the budget will be our staffing and then our non-staffing. And then there'll be the final presentation that shows all of the money in a pie graph form. It shows, what the percentages of where our spending will go. And so this table here is, this one is just a sample. It's kind of telling you what this baseline is, what staffed means, the difference, and any comments. None of ours have any comments. We're all good with those. Okay, the next few pages will be specific to Humphreys. Okay, so we'll bring back all of our teaching staff. So we continue to have 2 teachers per grade level and 1 EIP teacher for primary grades. We also have halftime art and halftime music and halftime Spanish, and then 1 PE coach. And so the reason why there is 1 coach and half of everything else is because coach has to do PE, but he also has to do health. And so health is a state requirement. And so he has to see each class 2 times. And so that's kind of why coach we have 1 allotment for him, and all of our other specials and enrichments are halftime. This next section I'm very excited about. We have earned, because of our increasing enrollment Hispanic students, we have earned a whole ESOL teacher. So we will not have to share our ESOL teacher anymore. We've earned a whole ESOL teacher. So I think we can really move that population, especially those that come that are new to the country, like, or, 1 to 2 years, exposure to English. We really need someone that can concentrate and own in on getting them adapt to English. And so for next year, we've earned a whole. We've also earned, and I'm not sure how this one will look, so I'm not as excited, but we've earned a half of interrelated teachers. So this is a special education teacher. So right now we have 2 interrelated teachers because some of our students in our special ed department are doing better than others. Some of those students that are doing better, we're going to a co-taught model where we're going to push them into the gen ed classroom with a special ed teacher with support. So we're excited about that part. Now the half teacher, how that could look would be that teacher comes to Humphreys every day, but it's usually for half of the day. So we would get that person in the morning or in the afternoon, depending on who it is and his or her paired school. And so we'll kind of cross that bridge when we get to it. Even with that, though, we will not be doing the hiring. That is usually someone who is given to us by the special education department. So just as we gained a half, someone may have lost a half. And so, like I say, that's more to come on that one as far as who the person is. Okay. Everything else is the same. We have a special ed lead teacher. Ms. She's here half. We share her with a Hillside residential. But there's no changes there and no changes in our Moyd allotment. We have 2 special education paras that is funded out of here, but we also have 1 other special ed para that is funded out of special Title IV monies, which are not here. But we are grateful for that because we don't have to fund her out of our budget. We get that directly from the special education department. 2 paraprofessionals from kindergarten and 1 paraprofessional, and he's paraprofessional, but that is our parent liaison. Okay, for school administration, we have a principal, an assistant principal, and a secretary. Our clerk, we have 2, but they are both hourly clerks. We don't have enough last year, as those of you who were on the Go team last year, remember we had to cut our school clerk. And so we're gonna just continue on with that this year. Okay, this is counselor, social worker, our 2 instructional coaches, 1 for each content, ELA and math. Our signature program coach, Miss Lanier, and then our master teacher leader. This master teacher leader that you see here, she also does work in the media center. So she does some small group segments, but she also works in our media center because we have had to lose our media specialist. And again, this is the 2nd year in a row that we did not have a dedicated media specialist, but that staff person did a great job kind of filling both roles. So we want to continue to support her in that, making sure that she has everything she needs. Okay, and so that's the staffing portion. Are there any questions about staffing? And then next we'll go into non-staffing.
Mr.
Okay.
Trimble, according
Yes.
to the script, I think you have to present all of it and then we have discussion at the end.
Okay.
Because this is considered an action item that we have to vote on.
Okay. No, I'll push on. Okay, so non-staffing. Again, this is kind of tells you what those what you'll see, what's recommended, what's allocated, what's the difference, any notes. Of course, again, we don't have any notes on ours. Okay, so the reserve fund, the 65,000, that is what's held back for leveling for next year. So we've been projected to have 250 students. If we hit 250 on the head, that means we get this money back. If we get less than 250, they take this money first, but then after that, anything else is fair game. So, you know, if we, let's just say for a hypothesis sake, if we had 210 students, they would take the reserve first, but then we probably need like another $200,000. So we would start taking people at that point. And so hopefully we'll stay, and we always have hovered since I've been here 5 years. We've kind of hovered around that 250. But the thing is, Humphreys, the population is so transient. You know, we get as low as maybe 230 and then as high as 260, 270. And so we just hope that everybody comes to school in August and don't wait till after Labor Day. Custodian and school resource officer overtime. So this year, both of those, the custodian and our site manager, Mr. Vick, they get paid by facilities when they work overtime. The same as our school resource officer. They get paid by facilities for overtime. However, next year, the school will have to pay any overtime that they work. Okay, teaching and supplies. If you were with us last year, I think I told you that we probably go through maybe 15 to 20,000 per semester. And so $12,000 definitely won't do it, but we're hoping that we get that 250 and then we get some of our reserves back. This year, again, last year we were projected to have 209 students, but when they did the leveling check, we had about 250, and we got a lot of money back. And so we've been able to do a lot of things with field trips and purchases and, you know, improvements around the building. Hopefully we'll do the same, be able to do the same next year. But that teaching and other supplies, 12,000, that won't get us through a whole year. Probably won't get us through a semester. So our fail safe here is if nothing, you know, happens and we don't get the money back, we do have special revenue funds. And so our special revenue funds come from our partners. And so our partners are very generous and have been very generous. And we you know, if need be, we'll be taken care of. We can operate. So we're not as concerned with those. Media supplies, as you can see, they recommend $2,000. But this is how much we allocated. But again, since I've been here, we've used special revenue partner funds for items in our media center. So stipends, this is how much the district gives us for stipends. Our stipends go to the head sponsor of all of our student clubs and organization. Is only enough to do the head sponsor. So many of them have more than one sponsor or a sponsor and a co-sponsor, but the stipend is only enough for the head sponsor. It also goes to our school improvement team. So our school improvement team is the team that kind of monitors our continuous improvement plan and making sure that we're doing those items. So that's takes up that whole 20,000. And then contracted services for professional development. That 3519, that's again, we spend typically about $15,000 on professional development. And so again, this is another area that we're going to wish that we get that reserve back. Okay. So this is kind of the budget in a nutshell. So our full-time equivalents, 46 and a half. Our budget next year will be 5.7 million. And our per pupil will be roughly $23,000. Our projected enrollment is 250. And that's where we get that 5.7. Okay, this chart here, the pie chart, kind of shows you where the spending is by category or by function. And as you can see, the vast majority of that is instruction. Okay, reserve funds, we've kind of been talking about it as we go along. Our reserve was $65,154. We would first want to bring back some of our hourly staff, put some aside for teaching and supplies, teacher supplies, and then professional learning. Okay, questions for Go Teams to discuss. Does the budget proposal support our school's strategic objectives and lead to achieving our goals? If new positions, well, this question we really don't have to discuss. We don't have anything new, nor will our current budget fund anything new. So the next question is, what trade-offs being made in this budget? Are any current programs or resources being adjusted or reduced? And how will that impact our students? And if we are sharing staff positions, which we do, we discussed that quite a few, all of our special positions, how will this affect student support and service delivery at a school? And so that question kind of is not applicable either, because we've always shared positions here at Humphrey in those same positions. So I'm not sure if that's that applicable. Okay. All right, so the Go team needs to take action and need to vote on the proposed budget. After the motion and a second, the Go team may have additional discussion. So it looks like the vote first and then additional discussion. Once discussion is concluded, the Go team will vote.
Thank you, Mr. Trimble. As a reminder, our first action item is to approve the draft budget. Do I have a motion to approve this item?
I motion to approve the draft budget.
Thank you. May I have a second? Thank you, Ms. Lewis. Is there any discussion? I have a few questions, Mr. Trimble, for some of the things that you went over once you are back in the computer frame. Ms. Lanier, you may be able to answer one of my questions as it relates to your role with the PBL part that he mentioned. So if we want to do 2 PBL showcases, does that mean STEM night is twice a year, or will one be a different type of program that would need to kind of be curated?
I believe we could go and do 2 showcases, because as far as the PBL, we've did in the past. I think one year we kind of did something in the first semester, and then we came back and did something at the end of the semester. So I think it could be done with 2 showcases per year.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Trimble, we're in the discussion piece, and I have a few questions
Sure.
relating to the goals that we talked about in the beginning. So, of course, we rank the objectives in order that we're focusing on. Regarding teacher, like professional learning, are there any particular subtopics or concentrated areas that you wish for teachers to participate in next school year?
So what we typically do, Ms. Burks, is we'll look at our end of grade data
Mm-hmm.
and see what's needed. I usually tell people that as far as content goes, our coaches are top notch. We usually do pretty good on content. Where we really look for PL is in instructional practices, and so we've done a series on numeracy and how to teach different strategies in teaching numeracy. We're going into a PL on Monday, actually, on academic monitoring. And so those type things, that's what we look at when we look at PL. And so we'll still look at the data and see if there's any deficits. We also have to kind of weigh any PL that's going to be required by the district. This year they were kind of light on that, but it changes year to year. And so what we do is in July, we'll do our PL calendar for the first semester, and then December we'll do our PL calendar for the second semester.
Okay, thank you. And then my second question is about SEL. Is that structured time where like a SEL book of the month or something is explained in that 15 minutes? Like what is the 15 minutes about?
So it's different things. It is structured time. So we have a curriculum for SEL, second step.
Okay.
However, a lot of times though, teachers may not do second step, but maybe once or twice a week. The other times will be like morning circles. You'll see a lot of morning circles where they kind of share, especially on Monday, they'll share what happened on the weekend, how they feel, that kind of thing. And then, yes, we do have SEL Book of the Month every month. Usually, Ms. Gowan, our counselor, does that, but teachers sometimes will do it in addition to and just reference it throughout the day, the week, and the month.
Okay, got it. I wasn't sure if you guys are still using second step. And then my last question is about the surveys that we were talking about, explaining the questioning to students so that the data kind of makes more sense. Is there a specific way that that needs to be presented before the students take the survey?
So I'm not really sure, Ms. Berg,
Okay.
because I've seen this go both ways. I've seen it where we've had a counselor that takes them in the computer lab, explains every question very thoroughly, and depending on when it's done, the children like especially, and so that's why we don't take them from specials anymore to do it.
Mm-hmm.
They almost want to, lash out, because we took them from specials. Some of them, want to think it's a, kind of a game where, hey, let's get, this teacher, or, so, we just have to be careful. I've seen it both ways. I think we'll do something to where they feel like this is an incentive. It's something good. Maybe we actually do it in the game room. That might be a way for them to at least answer truthfully.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they answered truthfully and said, hey, Humphreys has a long way to go, then that's something we could take from it, but when they don't take it as seriously, that's the thing. Even beyond, and I think I might have mentioned this before, beyond those surveys, we do student focus groups once a quarter, and those are very telling. We get a group of students, primary and intermediate grades, and really ask them, a question. We usually have them in there for about 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Ask them lots of questions, and just the answers that they give, they tell us a lot about what needs to happen at Humphreys or what's going right at Humphreys. Our next focus group is actually some Hispanic students. So we're getting some of our Hispanic students and asking, them those same types of questions. And so we think we do a pretty good job listening to our students, but those surveys it's a little tricky.
Yeah, I asked that question because I bring up this topic in all of the general Go Team trainings that we go to when we are looking at the data. And I'm kind of wondering how other schools are facilitating the surveys to where the data seems more aligned with what you would see day to day. So that's why I asked that question.
We'd be welcome to some suggestions. Like I said, I've seen it different ways, and even different outcomes,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'd be welcome to some suggestions. And I could even ask maybe some of the other cluster principals, what do they do?
Okay, thank you. Do we have any other discussion around this topic? Okay. All in favor of the draft budget, please say A or use your thumbs up reaction. All opposed, please use your thumbs down reaction or say nay. Any abstentions, please say abstain. All right. The draft budget has been approved. We will now move to our principal's report. We don't have any other discussion or action items tonight.
Okay, so just to kind of share this part, again, we've done step 4. Step 5, our associate Sue will take a look at it. Step 6, we will have staffing conferences. And so this is immediately after winter break. So it's closer than we think. And then we have to have our final meeting before March 13th. And so I'm not sure if we already have that one scheduled.
Yes, we do. It's on the
Okay.
calendar
be-
for March 11th, I think.
Yes, it's March 11th.
Okay, good, good. Okay, and that will be the final one for the school year. Okay, principal's report. Nothing really out of the ordinary. Things are going well. Again, next month, March, is a heavy testing month. We've been doing some announcements on that, and then just trying to keep students engaged in instruction now, and then making sure they come to school daily in March. But outside of that, everything else is going well. Looking forward to our Black History program next month. That is actually, because February was so full, that is in March as well, March 5th. Okay. And that is pretty much it. I can answer any questions anybody might have, but that's pretty much it as far as the principal's report.
Thank you. Do you all have any questions? Okay. Ms. Wright, did we have any public comments submitted tonight?
No, ma'am.
All right. Does anyone have any announcements besides the March 5th programming?
Sneaker ball is on Friday.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Sneaker Ball, which is February 13th, this Friday. And then Mr. Trimble put up the note about Go Team declarations. So I'm still not clear on if this is my last term or not. I have to call Miss Diane to confirm. But we do need 2 parent seats and 2 instructional staff seats. Is that correct, Mr. Trimble? Like, do they
Yes.
only serve 1 year?
Yes, and I don't think I don't think I think the term limit is on offices, but I think you can still serve if I'm not mistaken. But like you said, Diane will be able to kind of confirm that. But I think I've asked her that question before, and it's, the term limit is on the offices, and even on the offices you can run for a second term, but then after that you have to at least rotate offices. You just can't be in the same office.
Yeah, that was my question because this is my second term
Okay.
as chair. So I was just wondering, how can we rotate? I don't mind continuing to serve.
Okay.
Okay. Any other announcements for tonight besides Sneaker Ball being Friday and then March 5th? I remember Miss Lewis talking about the last week of February being different activities presented to students for Black History Month. That was one announcement from last time. And Ms. Lanier, can you remind us of STEM night one more time? That's also in March.
STEM night will be March 31st.
March 31st.
That's on a Tuesday.
Okay. Thank you. We have reached the end of our agenda. Is there any additional business at this time? All right. May I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I motion.
Thank you, Ms. Lewis. A second.
I second that motion.
Thank you, Ms. Lanier. All in favor, please use your thumbs up reaction. All opposed, please let us know. All right, meeting is adjourned at 4:16 p.m. Mr. Trimble, don't forget to end the YouTube recording.